Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. Today, I want to talk about newcomers, newbies, people who end up reading an article, watching a video, downloading a FLAC, or reading a PDF by myself. Taking the singular item out of context. Newcomers. The way Metallicman is set up is that it's a complete, in detail study of a bunch of stuff. And for you to see something, you have to see all of it. So I get a lot of newcomers, and they'll read an article or see a video, and it will resonate with them. And they'll take little bits and pieces of it. And depending upon how it resonates, they will like it or they'll hate it. And then we've got other people, they're not really newcomers, they're just assholes that just want to disparage. And then we get other people, they're like puppy dogs, and they're trying to follow along. And there's all kinds of people in this world. But newcomers. So there's a lot of terms that I use in here. I try not to keep them really technical. I find you don't really need the technical language to understand things. A little bit of thermodynamics is helpful. A little bit of quantum physics is helpful, but the ideas and the concepts are not such that you require a large amount of technical background. And so I get some newcomers. I can't really tell if the newcomers are sincere or if they're just flash in the pan, you know. They do a Google search, find this, read it, watch it, leave a comment. I get that a lot of times. I can tell, guys. Everybody at a website can tell. It's called analytics. There's Google Analytics, but there's all kinds of analytics. You can find out who's visiting your site, how long they show up, what they're doing. And I will find, for instance, I will have an article that takes 25 minutes to read. If you're a typical average person, the article will take 25 minutes to read. And I will have somebody out of the blue would come here from Georgia. They will read less than 1 minute and just deposit a comment that's very negative. I take this information. It tells me, one, either the person is a super genius speed reader who just loves to leave negative comments, or two, it's just some joker who visited, doesn't like anything, and then shits and then leaves. You know, the kind of person who goes to a fast food restaurant, is tired of waiting in line, so whips out his dick and starts peeing on everybody. That kind of person. Very antisocial. And so I track these people. Unlike other websites, I don't allow their comments to show up. In fact, the rule is you have to watch or read the video or whatever in the full amount of time that a typical person would do before I even allow a comment to be posted. Don't allow it to be posted otherwise. If I have a 20-minute long video and somebody leaves a comment, well, it's a little bit different for YouTube because it's a different I'm talking about the website. I'm not talking so much about YouTube. I don't really control the comments on YouTube. So I've got 3 options on YouTube. Allow all comments, ban all comments, or allow YouTube to moderate the comments for me. Those are my 3 options for YouTube. Seriously, I'm thinking about just taking YouTube and just disabling all comments. Whenever the situation comes to a point in time where there's more negative comments than positive comments, I note that. I also find that comments are, a lot of the negative comments are out from the United States. A lot of the positive comments are out of Australia. The more intellectual comments come out of Europe and South America. I wish I could say that those are generalities, but in my case, it seems to be the case. It seems to be the bona fide situation. Who would figure, right? But anyways, these comments here are an indicator. It's feedback to me. It's feedback to me. For you newcomers, you probably don't realize this is not my sole source of income. In fact, I have many other sources of income, and I'm doing quite well. The purposes of donations is to show your appreciation by putting your money where your mouth is. It's also a means for me to stay on and pay for the costs for this platform. The good stuff's on Patreon. So what you're seeing on the website or what you're seeing on YouTube, that's the free stuff. The good stuff's on Patreon. But you know, the good stuff is quantum physics and spirituality. That's the good stuff. And how you can use that knowledge to make money and have a successful life and blah, 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 blah. Have all your dreams come true. That's the good stuff. I offer, I have the blueprints and the DIY for construction of your own teleportation unit, just like out of Star Trek's, as well as how to do it on your own using affirmations. I have all this stuff. It's for free on the website, and detailed videos are on Patreon. Patreon membership is only $5 a month. How long does it take you to drink a cup of coffee? Okay. So, you know, if you want to show your appreciation, you throw me some money. If you don't want to show some appreciation, that's fine. You can watch it for free and you can be a service to self. And if you have spent any time on the sites, you realize what a service to self is as opposed to a service to others. Now, I'm making I have personal feelings, but you can be either or. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things to anybody else except you. And that is your key to prevent reincarnation. Those who are service to others stop the reincarnation process. And those who are service to self keep the reincarnation process a-going. I'll let that sink in here for a second while I sip my coffee. The way for you to stop reincarnating and then be free from the cycle of karma and back and forth is to be helpful to others, be supportive of others, say kind words, be nice, smile, all the things I've constantly promoted. You'll see various religions say things about being kind and helpful and all this. But nobody's really doing the connection between the life and death, the birth and death cycles, and the connection between that and your behavior while you're alive. I argue that we land upon a template, a life pattern, a fated life. Actually, it is fated because it's all influenced by gravity. So it's a fated life. You to understand where you're sitting in the fated life, you do a fate forecasting. I've written about that. And then you start mapping out your template, your world line template. That's each second, actually, each quarter of a second. 4 times a second, your consciousness is moving through world lines. World line is a frozen moment in time, 1 second in duration, 1/4 of a second in duration, decimal 25, 1/4 of a second in duration. That's the way it works. Seriously. And you can map these out on a template. You just lay it's like a map. It's a 3-dimensional map of the world lines that you travel through. And then by gauging the heights of the mountains that you have to travel or can avoid, or the valleys, you can see how easy the movement, your life would be as a measure of entropy. Entropy. It's a measure of entropy. Okay, they don't teach these things in school, but entropy is a very, very useful measure. It tells you how difficult your life will go. Let's just talk that way. How difficult your life can be. So what I want you all to do, if you're a newcomer and you're coming here, please, by all means, read what's got to be said. You don't have to give me any money. You don't have to. But you don't have to say anything bad either. You just get the free stuff, take the free stuff. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, go on, see something else. Okay? But you have to understand that if you don't know what your sentience is, you don't know what your predilections are in behaviors, then be neutral. Whatever you do, don't be combative, don't be aggressive, don't be mean. Don't hurt other people's feelings. Be neutral. And then if you really want to help other people, then help other people. If that's your nature, if that's your desire. It will make your life so much better. It's a fact of life, don't you know? So for you newcomers out here, maybe you should know a little bit about who I am. Obviously, I'm not a 20-something, whatever generation it is. I'm an older boomer. I grew up and was raised in the 50s and 60s, guys. Did my schooling, high schooling in the 70s. So I'm different and I have weird ideas. Traditional conservative ideas, meaning not politically conservative so much as it is If systems work and has worked for thousands of years, maybe they'll still work today, as opposed to a progressive reality that let's just trash everything and put something new because it looks like it's going to be really nice. So that's the two differences. And so I get a lot of people who think that I'm too old-fashioned, that I believe in roles in a household. You don't have a male and female household, a male household, female household. You have to have roles. I believe you have to have roles. One person makes money outside, one person handles domestic inside. You have roles. A lot of progressives don't believe that. They believe that you don't have any roles, any rules, any roles. Well, I don't know where you got this fucked up idea. All of the Democrats have this belief in their personal lives. Look at Obama. So I don't know where you come up with these ideas that there's no rules and no roles. Obviously, it's based upon an ignorance of how life works. If you don't have rules, you're going to have conflicts. If you don't know who washes the dishes, you're going to fight when the dishes need to be washed. If you don't know who throws out the trash, you're going to have a fight figuring out who's going to throw out the trash. If you don't know who's going to make the money or how the money's going to be spent, the worker and domestic, then you're going to have a fight. The worker makes the money, brings it home. Domestic determines how the money is going to be spent and saved. Two completely separate roles, full authority. The person running domestic, running the household, gets all the money, decides where all the money is going to be spent. The person making the money, his sole job is to make that money. Make the money. And you don't cross those two lines. It's very, very simple. Your stress life goes way down. And today in Western society, stress life is very, very heavy. Very, very high. So in every way, you want to bring your stress down notch by notch by notch by notch. Some people are good at it, some people aren't. I want you all to be doing good. And so I talk about this stuff, and I guess it angers a couple of people. And then there's people, I don't know what kind of problem they have. In the States or where I grew up, we would say they got some kind of pole up their ass or something. But sometimes I'm going to post art on the website. You don't have to like the art, but you have to appreciate that I like the art. So don't say, well, there you are promoting women so guys can oogle at us. Like, fuck you guys. All right? Guys like to look at pretty girls. Girls like to look at pretty girls. Girls like to look at beautiful clothing and imagine how it fits on them. One aspect of a personality. Not all aspects, just one aspect. Everybody likes a mystery. It's the mysteries. It's the mysteries that pull women into bad relationships with guys. They fall for those A-type persons because it's a mystery. They're trying to figure out things. Guys like that too, but they don't like it with women. They like problem solving. What's all this meandering bullshit going on? What's all this meandering stuff going on? Well, the point is, and the reason why I made this video is that I want to welcome newcomers in, but I don't want you guys to be blown away by some of this stuff that's going on here. I talk about spirituality, but I don't use it in terms of, well, Jesus said this because it was written in the Bible, or I like cats. Well, that means dogs are bad. Things are not black and white, guys. What's the matter with you? Why can't you like dogs and cats? Why can't you like pizza and hamburger? Why does it have to be this or that? Why does everything have to be so contentious? Got me. I don't know where you got this idea. I think it's taught in school from early age, and then over and over and over again. That's the way life is. I think it's kind of messed up if you ask me, but that's just me. I think it's messed up. Now, my background, aerospace engineering, became naval aviator, entered a black operation. It's part of the Office of Naval Intelligence. And I never disclose any of that stuff about that. Just the stuff that's tangential to it. If you've spent a lot of time, say, working in Washington, D.C., let's say, you, of course, can't talk about the stuff that you've been working on, but you can talk about the gardener. You can talk about the food you ate in the cafeteria, okay? That's the kind of stuff I talk about. And that's where all this spirituality stuff and extraterrestrial stuff and all this other kind of stuff that I talk about is all about. Seriously. There's a lot of people claiming to know extraterrestrials or be part of some secret organization. There are a dime a dozen out there. To a person who doesn't know any better, they'll think I'm just one of them. Except I'm the real deal, and I'm telling you what it was like. Two things: you can't get into the program unless, a couple things. Can't get into an American program involving extraterrestrials unless you have a technical degree. Period. That's because all the programs regarding them are in carve-outs in industry, so you have to have a technical degree. Number two, the extraterrestrials themselves only want to work with service to others. They don't want service to self people. So your sentience is going to determine whether you work with them. And that also determines your willingness to give up everything to work with them. And of course, three, they'll modify you. They'll do physical changes to you and non-physical changes to you. You will be changed. And four, you will be retired. And that's how you can tell. So all these people who are gabbling all of this, that they got this kind of role and they got that kind of role, it's all bullshit. You show me your goddamn probes. I can show you mine. I got MRI on it and even X-ray. The X-rays aren't that clear, but you can see. You can see the probes. You can see the devices. Show me or shut up. Now, for those of you, this is too much because you came here because you thought you were just going to talk about somebody who was going to talk about, life and this and that. And that's what I do, because it's all about life. Everything you do is all about life and why you do things and everything. And I think that's the core of being human. You be the best you can possibly be. Isn't that the best thing? And all this stuff out there about this grand cabal and great plan and the world coming to shit and all this kind of stuff, it's all perceptions, and it's all distortions of perceptions. Number one, this Davos organization of rich oligarchs, it actually exists. They have a master plan just like some kind of evil villain out of a movie. That actually exists because they tell you their plans. They write it down in the meeting notes and they promote it. So, it's as plain as day. Three, the media is owned by powerful people, okay? You just can't avoid that fact. It's owned by powerful people. That's it. And four, there's a lot of confusion out there, and it's all Western centered, led by the United States, going crazy in all of its proxy nations. But the rest of the world is pretty damn tranquil. China is peaceful, guys. Peaceful. Don't get caught up in the belief that what you're experiencing, everybody else is experiencing. It's not the case. If you're a repeat person to these videos, I gotta commend you. I gotta say thank you. Because you're pretty rare. Most of the profile of people who visit the videos fall into distinctly two categories. I would say about 40% are diehard MM fans. They love the website and they love the videos. Another 40% are one-shots. They show up somehow, they check something out, and then they leave. They're one-shots. And for you, you're the 10%. You're the people who want to know more and figure out what's going on. You're the 10%, and this little video is for you. Now, I want to say some good things. I spend way too much time saying all this other kind of stuff and this nonsense, and I'm building up to this. This is for newcomers. Your life, whether it's good or bad, can be changed by how you deal with your physical reality. If you're helpful and kind or neutral to helpful, you take on a service to others' sentience, and this will make your life smoother. It won't be so jagged. Little things: buy a cup of coffee for a coworker, smile, open doors, pet a dog and cat. If there's trash in front of your house, you pick it up. Try to do one compliment a day. You're going to see your life improve. There's other techniques. I always talk about affirmation campaigns, because by verbalizing your life, it happens. But you do it in a campaign, and there's a certain structure to it. You say your campaigns, you do it religiously for 3 months on, and then you stop for 3 months. That's your basic thing. Then you repeat. You have to say it. You have to stop. You have to say it again. You have to stop. It's like a wind-up toy. When you're saying your affirmations, you're winding up the mechanical toy. But there comes a point in time where you have to let this wound-up toy do its walking. And that's when you stop. You must stop. If you smile more, are nice and kind, and you do your affirmations, your life will decidedly start changing. Now, if you do your affirmations campaigns, changes will start happening. Changes are uncomfortable. Don't freak, okay? You're going to start seeing things start getting really wound up as your life starts taking a new direction. Things are going to start going a little bit crazy. It's okay. Don't freak out about it, because you know once you get readjusted on your track, your life's going to be cherry, man. It's going to be fucking cherry. It's absolutely true. And I want you to understand that. And so that's when I talk about this stuff and that stuff. My experiences with extraterrestrials and the technical subjects may be of interest or may not. You may not believe them or may believe them. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't. It really doesn't matter. The most important thing that I'm trying to present here is the idea and concept of you improving your life, regardless of the hardships that's surrounding it, with the goal of stopping the reincarnation cycle so that you can be eternally happy one way or the other to however you, not me, you want. Okay, that's the goal of all this. And there's all kinds of side goals and all this other stuff. You don't have to get too involved in that. The route I offer is one of kindness happiness and contentment. You have to forge it. If you're in the West, especially if you're in the United States, this intensive environment of bang, 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 bang. You have to forge your life out by, at bare minimum, being neutral, but hopefully being kind and helping other people. That's how you do it. I want this information to be of benefit to you. So if you're a newcomer, and when I mean newcomer, I mean somebody who's just, saw a couple of videos, maybe visited the webpage. You're more than just a hit or miss, but you haven't been somebody who's been absorbing everything. And so as a newcomer, somebody who's visited a couple of times, maybe even 10 times, I don't know. But you don't know the full story and the backstory and all this. Keep on doing it. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to give me money. You don't have to read everything or watch everything. All you have to do is be a good, kind person. That's all you have to do, and that's the only thing I'm asking of you. Be good. You'll find your life get better and better and better over time. I've got lots of long-term followers that can tell you that's what happens. And that's what I want in your life. Even though I don't know you, Mr. Faceless Stranger, Mr. Mrs. Faceless Newbie, I don't know you, but I want you to do good. And that's a fact. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up, let it be. I'm going to do my usual Chinese popular song. These songs I place in here are the top 30 going through China. At any given moment I make the video, it's one of the top 30. Gives you a taste of what China's like. You don't have to listen. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But remember, guys, it's up to you to control your life. Don't let other people control it. You do it. You have the tools. Make it happen, right? And why am I telling you this? Well, people, because I believe in you. That's why.
看满山红遍，跟着我念字正腔圆，冰上路去，谱一起少年。轻寒堂松远，朗朗书声洒在窗前，谁家的诗篇传颂了千年。
12万公里的水墨连起绵延的画卷，新时代的脚印把祖国各地全部都踏遍，不管是隔着天险还是在海的那面，把关怀送到每张普世少年身边，把天山的训练都带到昆仑山，我要把江南的春风都带到玉门关，是几件狂魔，用几件强国，有几点的底气自然能气势磅礴。
仰天长啸，烛火激烈，萧瑟秋风换了人间。昨日30功名成玉兔，男儿虚度成书。关关雎鸠，在河之洲，游子会师，远望西楼洲。见不到的厉害了，都是离愁别，是一番滋味在心头。看山红遍，跟着我念字正腔圆，平山路去，谱一起少年。轻寒堂松远，朗朗书声洒在窗前，谁家的诗篇传颂了千年。
俗话说好事多磨，岁月没蹉跎，因为身负使命，所以我得小心斟酌，思绪越喷薄，越得精雕细琢，每一步的规划都值得仔细琢磨。开战阔，就从来不用3尺的剑，万劫来朝是惯性苍生的初心没变，被我超越的朋友，你慢你先得给我道个歉，用把这上链的剑，让世界全都看得见。
仰天长啸，烛火激烈，萧瑟秋风换了人间。昨日30功名成玉兔，男儿虚度成书。关关雎鸠，在河之洲，游子会师，远望西楼洲。见不到的厉害了，都是离愁别，是一番滋味在心头。山红遍，跟着我念字正腔圆，平上路去，谱一起少年。轻寒堂松远，朗朗书声洒在窗前，谁家的诗
正长远，心怀情意，学起京剧。我要让世界看到内心咬着牙的经历。你的关心让我不再是那昨天的我就要当着你的面打破那卡脖子的锁。看的是漫山遍野意气风发，一朝素过，燃的是一把许多支撑中华文明的火。